Welcome back to the Commander Cycle channel. Today we will be reviewing the Marvel Legends Gamerverse Abomination Build-A-Figure wave. And yeah, so this is another longer video. So get us a couple snacks, relax, because this one's going to be a bit of a longer one. It'll be like a couple segments and stuff, about 2 different parts about all these figures and then the Build-A-Figure. So stay tuned to the end to see all that, and we'll get straight to the detail of all these figures. So here we do have Captain America, and yeah, looks pretty good. So we'll start to take a look at his accessory here, and of course he comes with his shield here, which does have some red paint on the outside, has a silver, and then a silver star, has blue around the star, and then just another red on the inside. Over on this side, there's a bunch of details with these bolts and lines, and then there's the clip and the sort of peg system. You can plug this into the back right here, so you can have him, I guess, like having the shield on his back, or you could flip it around here like that and put it around his arm so he can have him holding it. So yeah, also be careful here just so you don't stress that peg too much, because it will start to bend. So just don't do too much with it, and make sure you don't stress it that much, because then it will snap off. And or you can plug it in like this with the peg in that open hand, which they kind of give him a trigger finger, which I really don't understand. But if you want to have him posed like this, I guess you can. So yeah, we'll take a look at Captain America. So for this figure here, we'll just take a look at his head sculpt. Looks pretty good. Has the silver A here on the forehead. Face sculpt looks pretty good, actually. I mean, like, I like it. I think it looks nice. And yeah. So over on the side of the head, there are these wings painted silver. On the chest area, there's sort of these stripes and the star. Then down here by his waist, sort of ab area, there's these pouches and then red stripes. American flag on the shoulder pads here. Down to the gauntlets. Oh, there's brown right there. Brown straps around there. Then on the gauntlets, you got some white or silverish lines there. Brown straps around the gauntlet. On the back, got some silver and gray on the back there for the shield. Belt has some silver on it. Knee pads are gray. Blue's got this nice navy blue jean texture to it, and the boots look good too. So yeah, now we'll start to look at Captain America's articulation. So he can look about that far back and about that far forward. There is a bit of tilt here, not too much. Arm can get about that far up. The shoulder pad really stops the movement here. No butterfly either. Bicep swivel right here. Double elbow can get you about this far. And yeah. So wrist rotation here, all the way around. Side to side hinge. Then on the trigger finger, there is also side to side hinge. He could get about that far back and about that far forward. There's no hula hoop, but he can go side to side here. The belt does rotate with it, sort of. I mean, it rotates on its own, sort of. Leg can kick out about that far forward, and about that far back. There's thigh rotation here, thigh swivel. Double knee can get you all the way back here. Well, almost all the way back. It gets really close. Boot swivel. Ankle can go down that far up, and there is rotation right there. So yeah, pretty okay articulation. Could be better than the arms and then around the chest area, but for its age, pretty good. So for the next figure here, it is Miss Marvel, and she comes with a couple accessories. She comes with an alternate fist sort of elbow area, which is an unpowered version where she doesn't have like her powers activated for the right side here. And she also has like a open palm hand for the right side of the powered. So for the left here, she has a fist one that has the gauntlet attached to it. And then she also has a fist unpowered hand that I have on her right now. And yeah, okay accessories. Didn't expect much from this figure when it comes to accessories. But for this, as you can see, she does have the gold here, the gold like lightning bolt sort of area. Just blue here, and then on the back she has this sort of fire emblem on her scarf. Blue mask, face sculpt looks okay, hair looks fine. The lightning bolt, as I said. Gauntlet has some nice detail to it. Down here at the boots, doesn't really pay in that much, but I mean it's an okay of a figure, so we'll get into articulation. So for her articulation, she can look about that far back, about that far forward. So not much movement because of the hair. Tilt, not much tilt either. Can't really swivel around either. For T-pose, she can get about that far up. And for the single jointed elbow, she can get, well, this arm for some reason can go really high up. I guess if you just sort of rotate it around. I don't really know what's going on with the shoulder here, but I guess you could get about that high up. Elbow can get you this far up. There's some side to side hinge on the wrist, and can swivel all the way around. So yeah, can't swivel. Well, that can swivel, but there's no rotation at the wrist because the hand's just sort of like a solid thing. And yeah, crunch that far forward. Hula hoops about that much. Legs can go about that far out, about that far forward because of the skirt piece, and that far back. There is thigh swivel here. Double knee can get you almost all the way back. The boot kind of stops it. There is boot rotation here, and the ankle can go about. Let me just fix the figure real quick. The ankle can go about that far down, and about that far up, and rotation there at the foot. So yeah, overall, okay articulation, I suppose. So here we do have Marvel. Figure looks okay. Got some yellow here on the hair, white on the eyes. Face sculpt looks pretty good, like sort of around his nose and everything. Not too many splotches here. Got some couple color differences. Got some nice yellow or goldish painted gauntlets or rings. He's got a yellow star there in the middle. He's got this blue paint around his boots and gloves, and around the shoulder and neck area, and also like underwear pants. But yeah, so for articulation here on Marvel, he can look about that far back and about that far forward. There's a bit of rotation here, or tilt, and there is no butterfly joint. The arm can get about that far up, and there is bicep swivel here. That joint is not butterfly. There's, as I said, bicep swivel. Double elbow, just about to get you that far, so not too much articulation there. Rotation at the wrist, side to side hinge. And yeah, he can go about that far back, that far forward. Rotation or swivel there at the waist. Leg, got thigh rotation there. Can go about that far out, that far, yeah, about that far out, that far forward, and about that far back. So not too much articulation there. It's kind of a weird joint. Thigh swivel and double knee can get about that far, so not really good double knee there. Boot swivel, or sort of calf swivel, I guess. Ankle can get about that far back, that far forward, and rotation there at the ankle. So, yeah, I mean, articulation isn't great on this figure. I mean, he looks solid, but legs are not that good. So for leader here, pretty good head sculpt. Look about that far back, that far forward, side to side here. Arm to get you about that high up. A tiny bit of butterfly movement. I wouldn't consider that a butterfly though. Bicep swivel, double elbow can get you about that far. Side to side hinge on his yellow glove here, and side to side hinge on the trigger figure, which I'm surprised why they didn't give him any accessories. He can go about that far back, about that far forward. The yellow overlay piece doesn't really hinder at any movement. Waist swivel, which the belt hides really nicely. Leg can kick out about that far forward. About that far back. Thigh swivel over here. Double knee, really good. Can almost reach the back. I guess if you pop the ankle joint, it can. Go about that far down, that far forward, and a bit of rocker there on the ankle. So yeah, pretty good articulation down near the legs. And overall, the detail looks pretty good. And yeah, now on to Iron Man. So for Iron Man here, looks pretty good. I mean, it's not based off any movie, I don't think. I think the legs are a bit of a reuse from a movie one. But the helmet looks pretty good. Chest area, abs, sort of gauntlets. Got some nice gold and gray to him. Sort of silverish gunmetal gray. He comes with a few accessories. He comes with 2 repulsor hands, but I only have 1. And 2 fist hands, and I lost both of them. So this is what we're stuck with. But I have both blast accessories, which are this bluish, so not really clear, but like translucent sort of plastic color. Look pretty good. And yeah, the paint app's good. I mean, there's a bit of blue here in the chest, sort of the arc reactor. But yeah, so for articulation here on Iron Man, he can look about that far back, which is good for some flying poses if you want to have them in those. About that far forward. Tilt. Arm can get about that far up. No bicep there. I mean, no butterfly, but bicep joint. Swivel. Double elbow's pretty wonky here. I mean, like, I try to push it. I wouldn't force it too much, but about that far is what I'm gonna get. And same on the other side for some reason. But there is side-to-side hinge on the open repulsor hand. Can swivel around. Pretty good. Side-to-side hinge on the fist as well. You can go about that far back and about that far forward. Waist swivel, which is pretty good. Also kind of cuts off on one of the armor design lines. Leg can kick out about that far out, that far forward, and that far back. Thigh swivel here. I don't really like it because it cuts off the metal part, but double knee can get out that far back. The shin area sort of stops it, or not the shin, the calf does. Gets in the way, but the ankle can go that far back, that far forward. Not much tilt. I don't think there's any tilt or rocker in that ankle joint. For Mach 1 here, or the Beetle, I guess, from the Thunderbolts, design looks pretty good. He's sort of got the same blue sort of effect, but lighter on the armor here, like Marvel does. Got some white over here and some on the shoulder pads, red around the mask, these breathing areas too. Got an antenna. He's got the Thunderbolts logo on his chest over here. He's sort of got these rocket things attached to his wrists. The jetpack looks pretty good with the wings and everything. I wish that was portable and you could plug in like rocket effects, but we can't really do that here, which is, I wish we could, but I guess they didn't want to plug anything. We could try plugging in the feet, but the peg is too big, and the blast effect is too small. But yeah, like I said, he's got these sort of rocket fist sort of areas, which look pretty good. He's got these sort of bubble effects, or like, I don't know, ball sort of thing sticking out. Pretty good. I like the robotic design to the legs and everything too. For articulation, he can look about that far back, about that far forward. Bit of tilt here or rocker. Elbow can get about that far out, or arm can go out that far out. No butterfly there. Bicep joint can swivel around. Double elbow can get you about this far. Rotation at the wrist and side to side hinge. We'll fix the arm here for a second. Just put that back, I guess. Go about that far back. I think the jetpack doesn't really stop it, but it kind of does. About that far forward. Waist swivel here, also cut off by the belt, which looks a little bit better. Thigh swivel here. Leg kicks out that far forward, and that far back. Double knee here can get you about this far back. And for some reason, the ankle here is really, really tight joint, but it can go that far forward and that far back. And there's a bit of tilt here, or rocker, if I can get the ankle to joint to fix, but it's not really working with me here. Overall, I think it looks nice, but the articulation could be better. So for scaling, here is all the figures in this wave, except Rage, which I sold a little bit a while ago, but they're all right next to each other here. Now here is the main part of this video, sort of, is the Build-A-Figure Abomination. He's pretty big. We'll put him next to Marvel here, and then Miss Marvel here. So you can see like your standard Bucky Cat body and like your sort of smaller figure. This figure's pretty big. Yeah, so we'll get into his detail and everything and articulation too. And yeah, so on the head sculpt here, looks pretty nice. You got this nice sort of green, scaly skin part. Got this yellow here at the bottom, spikes in the back. The teeth look good. Got some pink sort of stuff on there in the mouth. Ears also kind of have it. There's also the yellow sort of paint here on scaly parts on his back too. Nice spikes on the back. Spikes all on the shoulder. I wish these were painted the same bone color. And like also the fingernails here. Fingernails look pretty good, but if they were painted that bone color and all the rest of the spikes were, that'd be pretty cool. Pants here, that's sort of ripped there, and then the belt buckles open, which they painted the belt buckles silver. Not much on the back here. Legs still got this yellow paint coming from underneath the shorts. Legs look good. More spikes on the back. Toenail here, sort of like three-legged dinosaur feet, I guess, or lizard feet. I don't know. Pretty good looking though. I like it. So for articulation on this big hunk of a figure, you can look about that far back and about that far forward. There's a bit of tilt here. Arm can get you about that high up. Like so, to T-pose is pretty weird. Butterfly joint can get that far forward, that far back. If you move the arm, you can rotate a little bit more back, but it just looks weird. Yeah. There is a little bit of bicep swivel here, but not really much. Single jointed elbow can get that far. Side to side movement. You just put it back down here. And then for the wrist, side to side movement here, and rotate around side to side on this wrist too. Sort of like the grasping hand. Can lean about that far back and about this far forward. He is on a ball joint, so he can hula hoop, just not as smoothly because he is more of a bigger figure. There is no waist rotation. Leg can go about that far back, or that far out, that far forward, and that far back. There is thigh swivel here. Double knee can get you about that far back. Of course, the calf's gonna stop it because it's huge. Sort of ankle, I guess. I don't know. Sort of mid-shin rotation. Ankle can go that far back, that far forward, and a bit of rocker. So pretty good articulation on this figure. I like it. So for some scaling, man, I'm losing words, is we have the Thanos on the left and the Build-A-Figure Venom Pool on the right, which his wave is on the channel as well if you want to go watch it. And yeah, so overall for this big Build-A-Figure, it's probably one of my favorites. It was my first in the first place. This was what got me started into Marvel Legends, and I just really liked how big he was and how like cool the design looked. And yeah, getting all the other figures were cool. I got some like Avengers team, and yeah, I know this figure wave is old, but overall this Build-A-Figure looks pretty nice. And then also for the other figures in this wave, they look pretty good. The Gamerverse figures are cool. I like the Captain America and Iron Man. Yeah, the articulation isn't great, but they look cool. And like builds your Avenger. You also get some comic figures, so if you want to build out your comic line, you can. And yeah, overall, I think it's a decent wave. I know it's pretty old by now, and yeah, I'm gonna be coming out with a couple more videos. I did post something on my community poll. It is about a new NECA figure I got, which was the Predator 2. If you want to go see that or not, you can. Just vote yes or no, because I want to know what you guys think and what you guys like. There will be more Marvel Legends. I know that I have a couple Spider-Man figures coming out and more Black Series coming out as well. Commander Cycle out.